And we start with the word of the day today. And the word of the day today is fire. Yes, because both the Phillies and I-95 are both on fire. We'll get to both. We'll start with the Phillies, even though the I-95 thing, we're just going to burn up the whole highway. We just don't have I-95, and we're just going to have to pretend like that's normal and okay. But anyway, and sure, I'm not mentioning this because it affects me directly. It's all because of the people, of course. It has nothing to do with it. It ruins both my commute into work and home. But anyway, the Phillies. The Phillies have now won 7 of 8. They take care of 2 or 3 from the Dodgers over the weekend. On especially Friday and Sunday, the bats obviously had it going. The Schwarber walk-off. Man, if he was batting fifth, he doesn't get to go up to get a bat. So I guess there's some value in having a guy who can hit a home run bat where he is because he got the extra at bat and he was able to put it in the seats. But that's a conversation for later on in the program. But there were a lot of fans out there when they first got hot. And Hunter, you talk about a mirage when they had beat the Nationals and the Tigers. Well, now they face the Dodgers, a good baseball team with some excellent players, and they win 2 or 3 from them. 7 of 8. This team is now officially hot. We have a team on fire, and I'm excited about it.
It was the way they did it, because you look at game 1, and you're up comfortably. Matt Strahm goes on the mound, and with the blink of an eye, you allow 2 back-to-back home runs, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, but Kyle Schwarber steps up. Then you go to Sunday afternoon game, and you see yourself in a position where Rob Thompson elects to move Taijuan Walker out of the game. Gregory Soto allows a home run instantly, but here's Nick Castellanos stepping up, and Trey Turner starting to hit the ball a lot better. So, Ranger Suarez and Taijuan Walker, your starting pitching, question marks all throughout your starting rotation to this point. They were fantastic. Unfortunately, I did have to skip Aaron Nola because he was miserable, and he's still trying to find loopholes with the pitch clock instead of, just getting your body prepared to actually compete with the pitch clock the way that it is. But, I digress there. Just an awesome way to do it. Looking at some stars on your team. Nick Castellanos right now, Ricky, he's playing like an all-star.
He's the MVP of the team right now.
Yep.
I don't care what anybody says. I'll talk at bats. I mean, he's doing right now what he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. This is what we were supposed to see from Nick Castellanos last year. Okay, he didn't do it last year. But to have the bounce-back ability to be where he is right now, you got to give him a lot of credit. We were getting on him. Everybody in this city was getting on him. Everybody was kind of fed up with the way he was playing. Now, all of a sudden, you look at him and you're like, wow, this guy is no joke. This guy is back to where we used to watch him on the Cincinnati Reds. So that's a huge positive to me. You brought up something interesting to me, and it's the way they're winning games. You think about yesterday's game. After they gave up runs, the Phillies would come right back and score a couple themselves. That, to me, shows that, you guys think you're good? We're going to pound you right back. And I like seeing that from the Phillies. But winning games in different ways. They've won it with pitching. They've won it with hitting. They've lost the game just getting destroyed and looking terrible, but being able to come back the next day and win. That's something that would not have happened in April and May. In April and May, they would have lost that game 9-0. They would have lost 4 more right after it, and then they would say, we'll be all right, we'll be all right. Well, I think this team is all right now. And in hindsight, or I don't know about hindsight, but when you look at everything, you look at the series. They played Washington. They took 2 out of 3. They swept the Tigers. Nobody was into this team yet.
Right.
Everybody was thinking, well, they're playing bad teams. They have to win those games. Well, I'm not so sure they win those games earlier on in the season. But to take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, that should change perspective of this team from everybody.
Yeah, it should. And we'll see. We'll talk to the people throughout the day today because I know that this is Philadelphia, and I get it. With the I-95 thing, people were talking about something already went viral, talking about you lose the World Series. You lose with the Union. You lose the Super Bowl. The Sixers end the way they do. And then you lose your highway. So I understand why the city of Philadelphia would have it's completely natural feeling of pessimism. I get it. But at the same time, the baseball team costs a lot of money. It's not like these players are bargain basement dudes. You had to pay a lot of money because Clintack was so bad at his job, him and McPhail, or just fail. No Mick. Since they did such a poor job, you had to buy up a lot of really good players. And that's bad in that your farm system, et cetera. It's good in that they're all proven commodities. You got a lot of proven commodities that are stepping up at the right time. Again, it doesn't matter. Schwarber was a proven guy. Castellanos had a bad year last year, a proven guy. Harper, a proven guy. Turner, a proven guy. They have a Wheeler, a proven guy. They have a lot of proven. And Walker, if you look at him as a number 4, a proven guy. You're not going to find many number 4s better than Walker. Go all around baseball. You won't find that many 4s better than him.
No.
If Rangers are 3, you don't find any 4s better than him.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So when you look at where guys are slotted, this is a good team. I don't think we need to go out of our way to be pessimistic with the baseball team because these guys are proven. Now, if it was a bunch of guys like Stott who didn't have a track record or Bohm who doesn't have a long track record, that would be different. Oh, the catcher, they went and traded for him. He was already a great catcher when they got him. They have enough guys now to where I think we need to get comfortable with the fact the team is good and maybe now recalibrate and figure out where they can end up being, and we'll be able to do that after this West Coast trip.
Part of the success, too, last year was Nick Maton and Matt Vierling and some role players, while not carrying you, but having an important spot in your lineup.
Yeah.
Cody Clemens is playing great, and he's got a good glove.
He's got a nice glove over there at
man,
first
and
base.
same with Brandon Marsh made a couple excellent plays. Now, I wish he didn't get tagged out on the bases when Stubbs is playing a little small ball with the bump.
There was no need to turn at second there. Just stay at second base.
Marsh is not.
You're right. He's struggling hitting. But look, I think that's just part of the Brandon Marsh experience. You bring him in here, it's going to be a work in progress. As long as he's making those exceptional defensive plays, though, at the wall, a good leap as he makes the catch, there's going to be the ups and downs in his approach at the plate because I don't think he's like a huge guy. Exactly.
You could hide him on
and it's still early in his development. He was a 200 hitter when he got here.
Exactly.
Like, less than a calendar year ago, he was a 200 hitter.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. He's definitely made strides. That's what you're looking for in some of the. But what that's going to do is when a left-handed pitcher comes in, that's going to start putting him on the bench more. Which you brought up the bench players. I mean, think about it. You could go anywhere you want. Sosa's been pretty good for the Phillies. Clemens has been outstanding for the Phillies, and he's starting a lot of games. But I still call him. He's a bench player. I don't think.
Unfortunately, Dark Hall.
Oh, you won't see him no more.
I don't think he's coming back up. I think he would have already been up.
Yeah.
I think he may get that call and say,
Clemens.
well, you usually get 30 days. I think they're just waiting to see if there's an injury or something happens where something might open up for him. But, I mean, you had Ellison here. He had a couple nice games for the Phillies.
He had 2 home runs in 1 game.
That's like never forget the Perry Ellis era.
I mean, the one guy I'm a little I look at the bench and say, why is he here is Harrison.
Yes.
And he used to be a really nice player, but is he anymore? I mean, is he really relative to this team in any way?
Clubhouse veteran.
That's
all I got.
That may be the only reason. Sometimes that'll keep you on a team for a long period of time. But I just like the developing way of which this team is going right now. The starting pitching is starting to come up. You bring up Aaron Nola. I don't.
We'll get to
that.
That.
Drives me batty.
We'll get to that. Now, Jen, how was your weekend?
It was great. Thank you. I was off on Friday.
Yes. Yeah. How was your long weekend?
Yes, that's right. Long weekend. It was great. It was good.
Jen, this week's 5 days.
I know. I'm going to be here Monday through Friday.
Should have taken only 4.
Yeah. Now, with that in mind, Jen, when it comes to the I-95 fire and the Phillies being on fire, how do you feel about both things right now?
I feel sorry for anybody living in the Northeast. I lived there for a long time and had to take that road many, many times. I feel so sorry for them. My girlfriend, Mary Kay, lives there in the Northeast, and she posted a picture of the sign that said, avoid Northeast Philadelphia. And she was like, but I live here.
Right, you can't avoid it.
You can't avoid it if you live there. I just feel so awful, making jokes about taking a helicopter to get into the city or into New Jersey, either way. Just a terrible thing. And all my friends from all across the country are texting me saying, what happened? What happened? What happened? Because it was on national news. Yeah. CNN. All
I-95.
of them. Right.
A major artery.
Yeah.
It runs from Maine to Florida.
It's crazy.
No, it just runs from Maine to Philadelphia now.
That's
stops,
right.
goes around Route 1, and then goes back. Are you kidding me?
That's not the answer.
And it has to be, right? So people coming from the Northeast in a car can get off and take those little side streets to get back on. What if you're in an 18-wheeler or a big van that can't navigate those side streets?
They're probably not allowed on it right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a disaster.
It's a disaster. One of my good friends drives the 18-wheeler for UPS, not the regular truck, the big one. He's completely, he's trying to just not grounded. Have any northern routes.
Right.
He's trying to go, because it's in South Jersey is the hub, his particular hub, near the Echelon Mall area back in the day. That's the area near there. Remember the Echelon Mall?
I remember. I used to live right there.
Yeah, not far from there is the hub. So now he's trying to get routes to go south to have to avoid just having to deal with this
Right.
because there's no easy way, if you're a truck driver. Like, it's just, I know this is a sports station. What the heck are we supposed to do? And we're going to get to the question of the day. They're saying a couple months. We've seen how slow this construction is in this city. What are the odds that they get this done in a few months?
Zero.
And we'll be talking about this like a year from now.
Oh, yeah. I
It's
think
good.
so.
I mean,
And on the Phillies, they're finally fun to watch again.
They are.
I enjoyed watching Friday and Sunday.
all right.
What about Saturday?
We'll just skip it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so 610-632-0975. We're going to dig into that. Now, you mentioned Aaron Nola. On the other side, we'll let Ricky Bo dig more into it. Because all I can say to you is I don't like to question people's athletes' toughness or any of that kind of stuff. But when every other player, including all the players on your staff, are able to make an adjustment in June to a rule that was made in the offseason, and you're still trying to circumvent it, we'll discuss it more on the other side here on 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia.